Please subscribe to Face TV Africa and turn the notification on. Face TV Africa, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ subscribe, hete.
Face TV Woswobi.
30 août 2023, nous, forces de défense et de sécurité, réunis au sein du Comité pour la transition et la restauration des institutions, CTRI, au nom du peuple gabonais.
Good morning, welcome to this broadcast. We are talking about Gabon and the coup that just happened in the country. Shootings heard in Libreville, that's the capital of Gabon, as soldiers have taken over the country. After the announcement of the country's election results, the ousted president of Gabon, Ali Bongo, and his supporters have been accused of electoral rigging. The election, according to the opposition party, was termed fraudulent after the internet and other critical facilities were cut from operating to aid Ali Bongo's party in winning the election. The trend of military takeovers in West Africa is on the rise. Corrupt government officials have demonized democracy, making it a government of corrupt politicians. By the politicians, a government for their family and friends, unlike those days when there was the struggle for democracy against military rule and dictatorship. Now people say they prefer a military junta to democratic system of governance. This is what our politicians have caused. Ali Bongo's father, Omar Bongo, has ruled Gabon for 42 years, from 1967 to 2009, before handing over to his son, who was the then chief of defense staff. He started ruling from 2009 till date. And when you look at the calculation, 2009 to date is more than 10 years. The dates are significant when we talk about Nigeria. 1967 was when Ali Bongo's father took over, and that was when Nigeria had its civil war. Imagine that Omar Bongo had been in power since then up till 2009. That was when we had democracy, and that was when we started to learn about how we could be together as a country and how we can develop our democracy. The Bongo family had been in power for decades, holding the country hostage in the guise of democracy. President Ali Bongo has won a third term in the presidential election with 64.27% of the votes. The Gabonese Election Center was saying that on Wednesday after a delayed plagued general election that the opposition has denounced as fraudulent. Announcing the results in the early hours, the Gabonese Election Center head Michel Stephanie Bonda said Bongo's main challenger Albert Ondo Osa had come in second place with 30.77%. Bongo's team have rejected Ondo Osa's allegations of electoral irregularities. Don't forget, internet and other facilities were cut to aid the rigging and the election malpractice. Tensions now are running high amid fears of unrest after the Saturday's presidential election. The parliamentary and legislative vote, which saw Bongo seeking to extend his family's 56-year grip on power, while the opposition pushed for change in the oil-rich but poverty-stricken Central African nation. A lack of international observers, the suspension of some foreign broadcast stations, and the authorities' decision to cut internet service and impose a nighttime curfew nationwide after the poll has raised concerns about the transparency of the electoral process. Senior Gabonese military officers appeared on national television to announce they have taken over power. The group of 12 officers made the announcement shortly after Gabon's election body reported early on Wednesday morning that President Ali Bongo had won a third term in office after observing the irresponsible and unpredictable governance resulting in a continuing deterioration in social cohesion that risks leading the country into chaos. We have decided, that is according to the junta, to defend peace by putting an end to the current regime. One of the soldiers said this while speaking on the Gabon 24 TV channel, and this was the reason why they said they were taking over the government. They said that it was an irresponsible, unpredictable government that has shown that it is not in support of the social cohesion, the social unity of the country. In the broadcast, the military officer said the election results will be voided and the country's borders will be closed until further notice. All the institutions of the republic are dissolved, in particular the government, the Senate, the National Assembly, the Constitutional Court, Economic and Social and Environmental Council, and the Election Council of Gabon, the officer said all has been dissolved. And also the total lockdown of the country is to prevent any uprising that can jeopardize the efforts of the coupists.
I'm Ali Bongo Ondimba, President of Gabon, and I'm to send a message to all the friends that we have all over the world to tell them to make noise, For the people here have arrested me and my family. My son is somewhere, my wife is in another place, and I'm at the residence. Right now, I'm at the residence and nothing is happening. I don't know what's going on. So I'm calling you to make noise, really. I'm thanking you. Thank you.
The international media organizations will be happy with this report and also the development because they are against any form of military intervention in Africa. Yes, we are not finished with Niger Republic. Now it is Gabon. Who knows which country is next? For 2023, we have had 3 coups in Africa. The question is, what is wrong with Africa and its democracy? Some people are saying that Cameroon, followed by Zimbabwe and Nigeria, will be the next port of call for this military junta. If you don't know, Cameroon has a president that is old and bedridden but still retains power and prefers to die in the position of president than letting others lead. This main reason is why there is a call for military intervention in Cameroon. And also Nigeria not been doing well under democracy. It seems the economic development under the military regime in Nigeria is much more preferable than the civilian rule. They prefer to give up freedom, that is Nigerians, of expression so that they can be economically free. The just concluded election in Niger has been termed the worst election ever. While some agree and disagree, most people are calling for a military intervention in Nigeria, which I believe will be difficult owing to the ethnic differences. This is my opinion, however. There are reactions to what is happening in Gabon, and people are saying that political officers have failed. Advent of democracy in Africa has failed in terms of people getting the dividends of democracy from their politicians. Are we going to blame the politicians or we are going to blame the system? Is it that the system the Europeans, the West, have introduced to Africa is not working? Imagine that most of these Francophone countries are preferring to go through the military to give dividends to its people than democracy. We know democracy is a government of the people, by the people and for the people, but it is interpreted in such ways that democracy is government for the politicians, by the politicians, and from the politicians. So what is happening in Gabon is not something that is surprising. It is expected. Many persons have predicted that Gabon will fall under military rule. Congo-Brazzaville will also fall under military rule. Cameroon will fall under military rule. Zimbabwe will fall under military rule, and also Nigeria. Because of one particular thing, it is because of the governance have been destroyed by our politicians. ECOWAS has a lot to do. The African Union has a lot to do at this point in time, because any form of military rule in Africa will destroy democracy, and also those democratically elected presidents, their office will be threatened, because these military guys, they have connections across the boundaries of Africa. I know military rule is not good for Nigeria because it's going to aid banditry and also terrorism activities. But it's unfortunate that our neighbors, Niger and Cameroon, might be the threat that will want to destroy Nigeria and its security. And if there's going to be a military coup in Nigeria, I think the issue of ethnicity will come to play, the issue of corruption. The military is corrupt. The military would not accede to any form of military intervention in governance. The last time the chief of staff said that they are not under pressure to return to military rule. I know that we have politicians, smart politicians in Nigeria, and they will find ways whereby there will not be any report of such in Nigeria. Nigeria is the biggest black nation in the world, and with different ethnicities, diverse languages and cultures, and it will different the military to come together as one to make up their mind to oust the sitting democratically elected government. So with Gabon now, who next? That is the question on the lips of people. Reactions: some people are happy with the development, some top politicians are not happy with the development, but the people are happy with development. You can see the irony there. In Niger Republic, the people were rejoicing over the military rule in that country. Instead, it should be that the people will be against military rule because it does not favor, it's not a popular system of government, it's not something that would involve the consent of the people. Democracy is just the consent of the people, and they are the ones that are owning the governance. But military rule is being ruled by the military and not the people. Unfortunately, it's ironical that democracy is not working in Africa at large. What should we do? Should we adopt another system aside military? Because military also would not be good for development at this age and time. A country with different ethnicities would not prosper, would not be developed, would not move forward under a military regime. So what next in Gabon? Gabon has closed the air, land and borders and asking countries not to interfere in their duty, in their business. Let's see the reactions of external bodies, especially France, because it's a francophone country and also from North Central. You can like and share this piece and also comment. Thanks for watching.
Ainsi que les résultats tronqués sont annulés. Les frontières sont fermées jusqu'à nouvel ordre. Toutes les institutions de la République sont dissoutes, notamment le gouvernement, le Sénat, l'Assemblée nationale, la Cour constitutionnelle, le Conseil économique, social et environnemental, le Conseil gabonais des élections.
Please subscribe to Face TV Africa and turn the notification on. Face TV Africa, subscribe,
Face TV. Muswobi.